Picture this. You're standing at your kitchen counter at 2 a.m., staring at your phone. Another notification, another bill. Your chest tightens. You earned good money this month, didn't you? So why does it feel like you're drowning? Here's the truth. Nobody tells you. Financial freedom isn't about making more money. It's about making better decisions with the money you already have. What if I told you that the gap between financial chaos and financial peace is just 3 simple categories? 3 boundaries that once mastered could change everything. This isn't another get-rich-quick scheme. This is about something more powerful, getting control back. Welcome to a conversation about money that nobody had with you growing up. Right now, someone is sitting in a beautiful home they can't afford. Someone else is earning 6 figures, but living paycheck to paycheck. Another person is making minimum wage, but building wealth slowly and steadily. The difference? It's not income. It's understanding. Financial wisdom begins when you stop pretending everything is fine and start seeing money for what it really is. A tool that requires direction, boundaries, and respect. Your money is talking. Every transaction is a sentence. Every month is a chapter. Right now, your financial story might be chaotic, confusing, or heading toward a cliff. But stories can be rewritten. Today, you'll learn the framework that transforms financial confusion into financial clarity. You'll discover why most people fail with money, and more importantly, how to ensure you won't be one of them. Before we begin, subscribe to SMQ Audiobook for more life-changing content. Hit that notification bell. Your future self will thank you. Let's begin with the hardest truth you'll hear today. Chapter 1. The Mirror Test. Facing your financial reality. Stand in front of a mirror. Look yourself in the eyes. Now answer this question honestly. Do you know exactly where your money went last month? If you hesitated, you've already identified the problem. Financial dysfunction doesn't announce itself with sirens. It whispers, it justifies, it convinces you that just this once won't matter. But every just this once compounds into a pattern, and patterns become your destiny. The average person spends more time choosing a Netflix show than analyzing their spending. They'll research a purchase for hours but never question their monthly subscriptions. They'll complain about being broke while ordering delivery 3 times a week. This isn't judgment. This is recognition. Your bank account is a mirror. It reflects your priorities, your discipline, and your relationship with delayed gratification. When you say you value security but spend on impulse, your account reveals the lie. When you claim to want freedom but finance luxury, your balance shows the contradiction. Money doesn't lie. People do. The first step toward financial balance isn't a budget app or an investment strategy. It's radical honesty. You must look at your last 3 months of spending without excuses, without blame, without denial. Where did the money go? Not where you think it went, where it actually went. Most people discover something uncomfortable. They're not victims of circumstances. They're participants in chaos. Every swipe, every click, every "I deserve this" created their current reality. But here's the powerful part. If your choices created this situation, your choices can also transform it. Financial maturity begins the moment you stop being surprised by your empty account. The moment you stop saying, "I don't know where it went." The moment you accept that confusion is a choice, and clarity is available to anyone willing to face themselves honestly. This chapter has one assignment. Write down every dollar you spent last month. Not estimates, actual amounts. Look at bank statements, credit cards, cash withdrawals, everything. The discomfort you feel while doing this, that's growth knocking on your door. Chapter 2. The 3 categories that govern everything. Every dollar you earn will fall into one of 3 categories: survival, pleasure, or preparation. Needs are survival, the non-negotiable costs of staying alive, and functional. Food that nourishes your body, shelter that protects you from danger, clothing that maintains basic dignity, transportation that gets you to work, health care that keeps you alive. These are needs. Everything else is negotiable. Wants are pleasure, entertainment, upgrades, conveniences, luxuries, and everything designed to make life more comfortable or enjoyable. Wants aren't evil, they're human, but they must be controlled, measured, and intentional. A want that destroys your future isn't a treat, it's a threat. Savings are preparation. Money set aside for emergencies, opportunities, and the future version of yourself who will either curse you or thank you for today's decisions. Savings aren't what's left over, they're what you protect first. The problem is that most people mix these categories. They call wants needs to avoid guilt. They treat savings as optional. They prioritize comfort today over security tomorrow. This creates a dangerous equation. Overinflated needs plus uncontrolled wants equals zero savings. When needs are honest, wants are contained, and savings are prioritized, something magical happens. Money stops feeling like an enemy and starts becoming an ally. Financial stress decreases, options increase, freedom becomes possible. The framework is simple: 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for savings, not 55, 45 and 0, not 60, 35 and 5. The ratios matter because they create balance. When any category dominates, the whole system collapses. If needs exceed 50%, your lifestyle is unsustainable. You're one emergency away from a crisis. If wants exceed 30%, you're stealing from your future. If savings fall below 20%, you're building nothing. These aren't suggestions, these are mathematical realities. Here's what makes this framework powerful. It scales with any income. Whether you earn $30,000 or $300,000 annually, the percentages remain constant. The discipline required doesn't change, only the zeros do. This means financial balance isn't about how much you make, it's about how well you manage what you have. Chapter 3. Needs. Cutting the fat from survival. Your rent is too high. Your car payment is too expensive. Your phone plan costs too much. Your grocery bill is inflated. Did that make you defensive? Good. That reaction is exactly the problem. Most people don't have a need problem. They have a definition problem. They've normalized luxury and called it necessity. They've accepted inefficiency and labeled it unavoidable. Let's be specific. You need housing. You don't need that apartment in that neighborhood with those amenities at that price. You need transportation. You don't need that car with that payment. You need food. You don't need restaurant-quality meals prepared at home with premium ingredients. The difference between actual needs and lifestyle creep disguised as needs is where most financial plans die. Examine every fixed expense. Ask one brutal question. If I were starting from zero today, would I choose this? That expensive apartment seemed necessary when you signed the lease. But was it? Or did you choose it because it impressed people, felt deserved, or simply required no sacrifice? That car payment felt reasonable when you financed it. But could you have chosen differently? Something reliable paid in cash that freed up hundreds monthly for savings. The truth hurts. Most needs are wants, wearing a disguise. Here's the action plan. List every monthly fixed expense. Next to each one, write the bare minimum functional alternative. Rent, $1,500. Minimum, $900. Car, $450. Minimum, $9 if public transit works. Phone, $100. Minimum, $30 with a budget plan. The gap between what you pay and what you could pay is your truth tax. You're paying extra to avoid discomfort, maintain appearances, or delay difficult decisions. Reducing needs isn't deprivation, it's liberation. Every dollar removed from bloated needs becomes a soldier for your future. That $100 monthly saved from a cheaper phone plan becomes $1,200 annually. Invested over 20 years, it becomes tens of thousands. You're not cutting your quality of life. You're eliminating waste that provides zero actual value. Financial balance demands that we stay honest, lean, and efficient. When survival costs are optimized, everything else becomes easier. I want to feel guilt-free. Savings grow automatically. Stress decreases dramatically. This chapter's challenge: identify one need that's actually inflated. Find a cheaper alternative. Make the switch within 30 days. The discomfort of downgrading is temporary. The freedom it creates is permanent. Chapter 4: Wants. Enjoying life without destroying it. Wants are where people reveal their character. You can pretend to be disciplined. You can claim to value the future. But when you're standing in a store, scrolling through a website, or listening to a friend describe their new purchase, your true priorities emerge. Do you pause? Do you plan? Or do you justify and swipe? The modern world is designed to exploit your desires. Every advertisement, every influencer post, every algorithm is engineered to make you feel incomplete without spending. The goal is simple: keep you consuming, keep you comparing, keep you believing that happiness is always one purchase away. It never is. Here's what most people misunderstand about wants. They're not the problem. Uncontrolled wants are the problem. Controlled wants make life enjoyable. They're rewards for discipline, celebrations of progress, and moments of genuine pleasure. Uncontrolled wants are impulses dressed as decisions. They're emotional reactions disguised as choices. They're instant gratification trading places with long-term stability. The 30% allocation for wants is generous. It's permission to enjoy life, but it's also a boundary that must be defended. How do you control wants? With two simple tools: the pause and the question. The pause: wait 24 hours before any non-essential purchase. Most wants are temporary. They fade when ignored. The urgency you feel is manufactured. Time reveals whether desire is real or manipulated. The question: does this move me closer to my goals or further away? Every purchase is a vote. You're voting for the future you want or against it. Choose accordingly. Let's address the guilt. Many people feel ashamed for wanting things. That's unnecessary. Wants are human. The problem isn't desire. The problem is letting desire dictate behavior. You're allowed to want the expensive dinner, the upgraded tech, the vacation, the designer item. You're not allowed to sacrifice your future for them. Here's where discipline becomes freedom. When wants are contained within their 30% boundary, you enjoy them more. There's no guilt, no stress, no wondering if you just made a mistake. You planned for it. You saved for it. You chose it intentionally. That's the difference between a want that enriches your life and a want that destroys it. Financial balance doesn't eliminate pleasure. It structures pleasure, so it doesn't eliminate security. This chapter's exercise: track every want-based purchase for 1 month. Write down what you bought, why you bought it, and how you felt 3 days later. Pattern recognition is power. Chapter 5: Savings. Building your escape route. Savings is not a suggestion. It's not a goal. It's not something you'll start next month. Savings is the price you pay for freedom. Most people treat savings as what's left over. Leftover money is a myth. There's never anything left over, because spending expands to fill every available dollar. If you wait until the end of the month to save, you will save nothing. The correct order is this: income arrives, savings are removed immediately, Needs are covered next. Wants to get whatever remains within their boundary. Savings first, not last. First. Why? Because the future doesn't care about your intentions. It only responds to your actions. Every month you delay saving is a month of compound growth you'll never recover. Time is your most powerful financial ally, but only if you act. The 20% savings allocation is non-negotiable. This isn't extra. This isn't ambitious. This is the minimum for anyone serious about financial security. Where does it go? 3 places simultaneously. First, the emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting in an accessible account. This is your buffer against chaos. Medical emergencies, job loss, car repairs, unexpected crises. Life happens. The question is whether you'll face it with cash or panic. This fund removes fear from your financial life. Second, retirement accounts. The earlier you start, the less you need to contribute. $1 invested at age 25 has exponentially more power than $1 invested at 45. Delay is devastatingly expensive. Third, investment accounts. Stocks, bonds, real estate, businesses, assets that grow, generate income, and build wealth while you sleep. Savings that sit idle lose value to inflation. Savings that work grow into freedom. Here's the psychology that defeats most people. Saving feels invisible. It doesn't provide instant pleasure. It doesn't earn applause. It's quiet, boring, and completely unglamorous. That's exactly why most people fail. Financial discipline rewards those who can delay gratification, those who can choose the invisible over the obvious, those who understand that real power is built in silence while everyone else is buying applause. Automate your savings. The moment money hits your account, 20% disappears into savings. No debate, no temptation, no just this month. When savings are automatic, willpower becomes irrelevant. Systems beat motivation every time. This chapter's commitment. Set up automatic transfers today. 20% of every payment goes directly to savings before you see it. Your future self is watching. Don't disappoint them. Chapter 6. The Lifestyle Trap. Why earning more changes nothing. You got the raise. You landed the promotion. Your income jumped 20, 30, maybe 50%. So why do you still feel broke? Welcome to lifestyle inflation, the invisible thief that steals wealth before it's built. Here's how it works. Income increases, spending increases proportionally. Net savings remain unchanged. You earn more but save nothing extra. The bigger paycheck disappears into a bigger lifestyle, leaving you exactly where you started, just with nicer things. This is the trap that captures high earners. They assume more money solves money problems. It doesn't. More money amplifies existing habits. If you can't manage $50,000 wisely, you won't manage $150,000 wisely. You'll just make more expensive mistakes. The pattern is predictable. Promotion arrives, better apartment, nicer car, premium subscriptions, expensive restaurants, designer clothes, luxury vacations. Each decision feels justified. You worked hard, you deserve it. Everyone at this income level lives this way. And suddenly, you're trapped again. Different numbers, same stress. Here's the strategy that breaks the cycle. Freeze your lifestyle. When income increases, spending stays constant. The difference goes entirely to savings and investments. You continue living on your previous income while the excess builds wealth silently in the background. This requires discipline that most people lack. It means driving the same car while colleagues upgrade. It means staying in the same apartment while friends move to luxury buildings. It means resisting social pressure, comparison, and the seductive comfort of lifestyle expansion. But here's what it creates: financial momentum. When you freeze your lifestyle, every raise becomes a wealth accelerator. That $10,000 annual increase becomes $10,000 in annual savings. Over 10 years invested properly, it becomes substantial wealth. Over 20 years, it becomes generational wealth. The wealthy understand this instinctively. They look poor while being rich. They drive modest cars, live in reasonable homes, and prioritize net worth over appearance. The broke look rich while staying poor. They lease luxury, finance image, and mistake consumption for success. Which one are you? Lifestyle inflation isn't about denying yourself. It's about refusing to trade long-term freedom for short-term comfort. It's choosing to be wealthy over looking wealthy. The next time your income increases, make a decision. Will this money buy things or buy freedom? Will it inflate lifestyle or inflate net worth? Only one choice builds lasting wealth. This chapter's action step: calculate your last income increase. Track where every dollar of that increase went. If it didn't go to savings, you lost. Chapter 7. The Debt Monster. Interest works both ways. Debt is a tool, but most people use it like a weapon pointed at themselves. There are two types of debt: debt that builds wealth and debt that destroys it. Good debt finances appreciating assets or income-generating investments, mortgages on properties that grow in value, business loans that generate profit, education debt that increases earning potential. These are strategic uses of leverage. Bad debt finances consumption. Credit cards carrying balances for clothes, meals, vacations. Auto loans on depreciating vehicles. Personal loans for furniture. These don't build wealth. They transfer your future income to someone else through interest. Here's the harsh reality: every dollar you pay in interest is a dollar you'll never save, invest, or use to build freedom. Interest is the price of impatience, and impatience is expensive. Credit card debt is the most dangerous. The average interest rate hovers around 20% annually. That means carrying a $5,000 balance costs you $1,000 yearly in interest alone. That's $1,000 that could have been invested, saved, or used to buy freedom. Instead, it evaporates, enriching banks while impoverishing you. The excuse is always the same: I needed it. No, you wanted it, and you wanted it enough to trade your future for it. Here's the strategy for eliminating destructive debt: the avalanche method. List all debts. Focus every extra dollar on the highest interest debt while making minimum payments on others. When the highest is eliminated, attack the next highest. Momentum builds. Balances disappear. Eventually, you're debt-free. Why this works? Mathematics and psychology. Mathematically, you pay the least total interest. Psychologically, each eliminated debt creates motivation to continue. But here's what matters most. While you're in debt, you're not building wealth. Every dollar toward debt is a dollar not growing through compound interest. Debt is the opposite of savings. It compounds against you. Some argue that investing while carrying debt makes sense if investment returns exceed debt interest. This is technically true, but behaviorally foolish. The psychological weight of debt creates stress that undermines every financial decision. Eliminate destructive debt aggressively, then redirect those payments to savings and investments. This creates a double benefit. You stop losing money to interest, and you start gaining money through compound growth. Financial balance is impossible while debt controls you. You're not managing money. Debt is managing you. This chapter's commitment: list every debt. Calculate total monthly interest. Feel the weight of what you're paying. Then create an elimination timeline. Freedom starts when debt ends. Chapter 8. The Automation Advantage. Removing willpower from the equation. Willpower is unreliable. Motivation fluctuates. Discipline fades. Systems never fail. The greatest financial mistake people make is relying on willpower to save, invest, or control spending. Willpower is a finite resource that depletes throughout the day. Every decision you make drains it slightly. By the time evening arrives, willpower is exhausted. That's when impulse purchases happen. That's when just this once becomes a pattern. That's when financial plans collapse. The solution isn't stronger willpower. It's a better system. Automation removes decision-making from the process. Money moves automatically from checking to savings, investments and bill payments without requiring thought, effort or discipline. Here's how to build an automated financial system. Paycheck arrives. 20% immediately transfers to savings accounts. Retirement contributions are deducted automatically. Investment accounts receive fixed monthly deposits. Bills auto-pay on schedule. What remains is available for needs and wants within their boundaries. The beauty of automation is its ruthlessness. It doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't pause for excuses. It executes consistently, regardless of mood, circumstances, or temporary desires. This creates what psychologists call a commitment device. You make one decision once, and that decision executes indefinitely. You decide once to save 20%. The system saves 20% forever, until you actively change it. Most people never change it. The default becomes reality. But there's another critical automation: preventing spending. Remove saved credit cards from online accounts. Delete shopping apps. Unsubscribe from promotional emails. Create friction between impulse and purchase. Every additional step required to spend money is another opportunity for rationality to interrupt emotion. Automation works both ways. It can automatically save or automatically spend. Subscription services are automated spending. They continue silently extracting money monthly, whether you use them or not. Audit every subscription. Cancel ruthlessly. Entertainment, premium features, convenience services, they all add up. $20 here, $15 there, $30 somewhere else. Suddenly, $100 monthly disappear into forgotten subscriptions. Automate savings. Automate investing. Automate bill payments. Eliminate automated spending. This chapter's assignment: spend 2 hours building your automated system. Set up automatic transfers. Schedule investments. Review and eliminate unnecessary subscriptions. 2 hours of setup creates years of effortless discipline. Chapter 9. The Comparison Disease. Keeping up with people going broke. They have a new car, the beautiful home, the designer clothes, the exotic vacations, the perfect life displayed on social media, and you feel inadequate. Here's what you don't see: the debt, the stress, the paycheck-to-paycheck reality hidden behind the filtered photos and curated posts. Comparison is the disease destroying more financial lives than any other single factor. People spend money they don't have to buy things they don't need to impress people they don't like. The result? Everyone broke together, pretending to be wealthy. Social media has weaponized comparison. Every scroll exposes you to someone else's highlight reel, their wins, their purchases, their experiences, none of the struggle, none of the cost, none of the debt. Your brain doesn't distinguish between reality and performance. It sees success and feels inadequate. That inadequacy creates pressure to match, exceed, or at least not fall too far behind. This pressure is expensive. Here's the truth: most visible wealth isn't wealth. It's financed by consumption. Real wealth is invisible. It's growing quietly in investment accounts. Its properties generate income. Its businesses compounding value. It's the freedom to choose rather than the obligation to perform. The wealthy drive modest cars. They live in reasonable homes. They dress normally. They don't need validation because they have something more valuable: options. The broke look wealthy. They lease luxury to maintain appearances. They finance lifestyles they can't afford. They trade freedom for performance and call it success. Which game are you playing? Stop comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. Stop measuring success by visibility. Stop spending money to prove worth. Your bank account knows the truth. Your stress levels know the truth. Your future knows the truth. Real wealth whispers. Fake wealth shouts. Here's the action. Unfollow accounts that trigger comparison spending. Stop attending events where performance matters more than relationships. Surround yourself with people who value substance over appearance. Your environment shapes your behavior. If everyone around you spends recklessly, you'll feel pressure to match. If everyone around you builds wealth quietly, you'll feel permission to do the same. Choose your influences carefully. They're either pulling you toward freedom or pushing you toward debt. This chapter's reflection: identify 3 expenses made primarily to impress others. Calculate their annual cost. Imagine that money invested over 20 years. That's the price of comparison. Chapter 10. The Freedom Formula. When money stops controlling you. Financial freedom isn't about being rich. It's about being in control. Control means having options. The option to say no to jobs you hate. The option to pursue opportunities without fear. The option to face emergencies without panic. The option to choose your life rather than accept what circumstances demand. This level of freedom is available to anyone willing to embrace 3 principles: live below your means, invest the difference, and protect the system relentlessly. Living below your means creates margin. Margin is the gap between what you earn and what you spend. The larger the margin, the more freedom you possess. Most people operate with a negative margin. They spend more than they earn, financing the difference with debt. Negative margin is financial prison. Every month tightens the chains. Positive margin is financial oxygen. It's the space where savings grow, investments compound, and options multiply. Investing the difference transforms margin into wealth. Money sitting idle loses value. Money invested grows exponentially. The earlier you start, the less effort required. Time does most of the work if you give it the opportunity. Protecting the system means defending your financial boundaries against every threat. Social pressure, lifestyle inflation, impulse purchases, comparison spending. These aren't innocent temptations. They're attacks on your future. Defend ruthlessly. Here's what financial freedom looks like practically. You lose your job. Instead of panic, you have 6 months of expenses saved. You have time to find the right opportunity rather than accepting the first one. An emergency strikes. Medical issues, car breakdown, family crisis. You handle it with cash. No debt, no stress, no compromise. An opportunity appears. Starting a business, investing in real estate, traveling and education. You have capital available. You can say yes without sacrificing security. This is freedom, not luxury, not excess. Freedom. The path to freedom is simple, but not easy. It requires discipline when everyone around you chooses comfort. It requires patience when instant gratification is always available. It requires vision when the present moment screams for attention. Most people will never experience financial freedom because they're unwilling to do what freedom requires. They want the destination without the journey. They want results without sacrifice. They want freedom without discipline. It doesn't work that way. But for those willing to embrace the framework, willing to defend boundaries, willing to prioritize the future over the present, financial freedom is inevitable. 50% needed, 30% wanted, 20% savings. Maintain the balance relentlessly. Automate the system ruthlessly. Resist comparison compulsively. 1 year from now, you'll have emergency funds. 5 years from now, you'll have substantial investments. 10 years from now, you'll have options most people only dream about. The only question is whether you'll start today or continue waiting for perfect conditions that never arrive. This chapter's final action: write down your freedom number. How much money would you need saved and invested to feel completely secure? Now calculate how long it takes to reach that number at 20% savings. That's your timeline. Freedom has a price. Pay it. Financial balance isn't complicated. It's uncomfortable. It asks you to control impulses while everyone around you indulges. It demands patience while the world promises instant results. It requires honesty while comfort lies feel easier. But discomfort is temporary. Regret is permanent. Right now, you have a choice. You can close this video and return to the same patterns that brought you here. The same spending, the same excuses, the same stress. Nothing changes. Or you can decide that today is the day the pattern breaks. Start with one action, just one. Open your banking app. Look at last month's spending. Categorize it honestly. See where you actually are versus where you thought you were. Then take the second action. Calculate your 50, 30, 20 targets. See how far reality is from the framework. Then take the third action. Set up one automated transfer. 20% of your next paycheck to savings. No excuses, no delay. That's how transformation begins. Not with motivation, not with inspiration, with action. 3 months from now, you'll see progress. 6 months from now, you'll feel different. 1 year from now, you'll barely recognize your financial life. But only if you start now. Financial freedom is built one decision at a time, one boundary defended, one impulse resisted, $1 saved. The journey is long. The destination is worth it. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop hoping for magical solutions. Stop looking for shortcuts. Start controlling your needs. Start containing your wants. Start protecting your savings. The framework is simple. 50, 30. The execution is everything. If this audiobook helped you see money differently, subscribe to SMQ Audiobook. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Your financial future is waiting. Stop making it wait. The balance you seek is within reach. The question is whether you'll reach for it. Go build the life you deserve. Not the one you can finance. Go create freedom. Not appearances. Go become wealthy. Not just look wealthy. The choice has always been yours. Choose wisely.